Good morning, 6 o'clock on this Thursday. No mediation and no progress to report between BC's government and striking teachers. After exploratory talks, the two sides are right back where they started, at an impasse. An attempt to bring in BC Judge Stephen Kelleher as a mediator has failed. He spoke to both sides but has deemed them to be too far apart. No new negotiations are scheduled. Teachers and the government are 1% apart on wage increases, with continued disagreement on benefits and class composition.
We came down huge on wages, and what we were hoping is that government would make a substantial movement in the area of class size, class comp, and specialist levels. And the move that they made previously was basically keep what we currently have.
Now, I will say, and Mr. Riker, I believe, in his press conference, indicated that they had made a move, and indeed they did, purely on salaries, not on benefits. And the benefits portion alone adds another $225 million of cost to the proposal that they put forward. And that is way and still twice what other public sector unions have agreed to.
Vancouver and North Vancouver are among the latest school districts to cancel the majority of their summer classes. Surrey's school district is expected to make a decision later today. CP Rail is asking businesses and people living along the Arbutus corridor in Vancouver to remove any and all property along the train tracks by the end of the month. For more on why, let's go to Greg Harper. He is live in Vancouver with the details this morning. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle. I'm standing in clearly a community that has been built here over the years. We have a community garden to the right of me. This is Pine Street Community Garden. You can see people have set up some chairs. This is an area that people walk their dogs, they ride their bikes. But this is land that CP Rail does own, and the railway company has been reviewing the line here since April, looking into the possibility of reactivating it. The tracks run from Marine Drive to Granville Island. No decisions have been made yet as engineers continue to look at what kind of shape the tracks are in. The reason people and businesses have been told to remove their property by July 31st is so, according to CP, that their employees need complete access to the entire corridor to do a thorough examination. The last time trains were used on this track, 13 years ago, back in 2001. I did talk to a spokesperson with CP Rail this morning. He says traditionally they have access to 50 feet on either side of the track, so potentially lots of property will have to be moved, including this community garden. Kyle?
Greg Harper live for us this morning in West Vancouver. Greg, thanks very much for that, or Vancouver's west side, I should say. Speed kills, or so we've been told, but drivers on some BC highways are being allowed to go faster. The speed limit on this stretch of the Sea to Sky Highway is going from 80 kilometers an hour to 90. The limit on some highways will jump to 120 kilometers an hour, including the Coquihalla from Hope all the way to Kamloops. Police are not fans, but the province has consulted with the public and engineers. It's hoped the move will narrow the difference between the fastest drivers and the slowest, with a more consistent speed, making things safer in theory.
I hope that the headline isn't that roads in BC are going to get faster. People do not choose their travel speeds based on a sign on the side of the road. They choose their travel speeds based on a host of factors, including their driving ability, the condition of the vehicle, weather conditions, road geometry, that kind of stuff.
The speed changes are happening outside Metro Vancouver, with the majority in the BC interior. Meanwhile, police are getting more power to get slow drivers out of the left lane of highways. Another part of the government's highways review, winter tires will now be required on all passenger vehicles from October 1st through the end of March on all rural highways. The review also says carrying chains is no longer good enough. Quebec and Oregon are the only other jurisdictions in North America to require winter tires.
These are all winter tires.
A collision between two commercial trucks made for some very tense moments near Osoyoos last night. The semi-trailers collided on Highway 3, setting off an explosion. A Forestry Service air tanker was called in to extinguish the blaze. One of the truck drivers was taken to hospital, reportedly in stable condition. It's believed one of the vehicles sideswiped the other while trying to pass. Closing arguments are now underway at one of our province's most notorious gang murder trials. Cody Havisher and Matthew Johnston are each charged with 1 count of conspiracy and 6 counts of first-degree murder for the mass killings at a Surrey high-rise in October of 2007. The Crown accused the pair of setting out to kill a rival drug trafficker and that 5 others were also murdered to eliminate potential witnesses, including 2 innocent people. The man accused of killing 3 RCMP officers in Moncton, New Brunswick last month is expected to appear in court today. 24-year-old Justin Bork is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Constables Douglas Larch, David Ross, and Fabrice Givaudan were killed on June 4th while responding to a call about an armed man in a residential area. The Toronto Sun is reporting convicted serial killer Paul Bernardo is going to get married. His fiancée is said to be a 30-year-old woman who writes to the man known as the Scarborough Rapist. Bernardo was married once before to Carla Homolka, who testified against him at his murder trial. The 50-year-old is serving a life sentence for the killings of Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey. A Calgary couple is making a tearful plea for the safe return of their 5-year-old son and his grandparents. Nathan O'Brien had a sleepover last Sunday at his grandparents' house, but the 3 were gone Monday morning when Nathan's mother went to pick him up. Calgary police have no suspects in the trio's disappearance, but say there are signs they did not leave their home voluntarily.
Nathan, I need you to hear my voice right now, and I need you to know that Mommy and Daddy love you more than anything in this world. And we can't be with you right now, but the best people that can be with you other than us is your grandparents.
Tropical storm Arthur is now Hurricane Arthur this morning with winds of more than 120 kilometers an hour. This is the season's first hurricane, and it's centered over the Atlantic off South Carolina, and it's moving north. Forecasters say the Carolinas will get hit tomorrow. They predict Arthur will head up the American East Coast and will affect parts of Atlantic Canada this weekend.